Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey, Shelly. Thanks for joining. So tonight, I want to thank everybody for coming out, even the ones that's in the skybox that don't want to drop down. That's perfectly fine, as long as you guys get the message. I wanted to talk tonight about co-parenting. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have not. And I appreciate you guys. I really do. So, what made me want to speak about co-parenting is because I am a part of that, my experience alone. I do co-parent along with my ex-husband and our three children. So I thought that this conversation could help other people. And so I do want to tell you that when I first started doing this, when I had my first son, co-parenting did not come easy. It does not come easy. Hey, Benj, thanks for joining. Hey, I miss you. Hey, Retro Babe. Thank you guys for joining. Please excuse me if I don't get to everybody. I do, Queen. Hey, Queen Diva. I am going to speak to everybody, but I don't want to lose the message, so I'm really just going to get into it. So again, excuse me. I'll get back to the chat, and I'll definitely greet everybody. I appreciate everybody who came in and those who are coming in. So again, like I was saying, co-parenting did not come easy for me. When I first had my first son, me and my son's father, we had a tumultuous breakup, and fighting for our son was terrible. I learned a lot though. And so when I had my last three with my ex-husband, once we broke up, I made it a point to not make those same mistakes. So it was important to me to be effective in co-parenting. So far, so good, And so I wanted to share a couple of things and tips that I learned along the way by, just going through the motions literally and having my experiences and just, failing, being successful at it. Right now, I think we have it together. There are good times and bad times, but at for the most part, we do what's best for the kids. And that's my first talking point here. The best interests of the children come first. So I do want to tell you about the order. It's the order for me. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. Hey, Jay Dunn. Thanks for coming through. So when I say it's the order for me, a lot of adults don't understand the order, and it really is important in raising children. If mommy's not good, if daddy's not good, 9 times out of 10, the kids are not good. And it's just that simple. And as adults, we have to know how to put that first, okay? Whether you're together or not, it's still the order. The order of the business is the parents and then the children. It's a trickle-down effect. And once you can create that platform and that space, the children will fall in line. And that's just how it goes. So when I say that it's the order for me, that's really what I mean. Parents and then the children. I have some friends who got into relationships with kids who feel like no man or no woman come before their children. And I have to disagree with that a little bit, because if you are with a partner, your partner, it has to be an order there. And your kids have to follow that structure. They cannot feel like they can disrespect the adults in the house. And once you make a child feel that way, they will take advantage. Kids are smarter than you will ever expect. So that's important when you're raising children. Especially, again, when you have a partner, whether it be the father or your husband, as long as it's not a situation where there are domestic violence or the kids are at danger, you have to put your spouse first. And then the kids follow. The kids have to understand that It's mommy, daddy, daddy, mommy, whichever way you want to switch that around. Mommy, mommy, daddy, daddy, whatever it is. It's the parents and then the children. And you have to instill that into your children. Your children should not be thinking or even having the slightest clue that, oh, the parents are not together, or I can take advantage of one parent over the other. That destroys the whole function of the family, whether you believe it or not, but that's the truth. So again, it's the order for me. If you follow that order, everything else falls in line. Now, when you are taking care of the kids, the mother and the father, you guys have to understand and instill that the best interest of the kids comes first. It's not about you and it's not about him. It's not about she. It's not about he. It's about your children, because the minute you decide to have children, you give up that selfishness of self. And you become selfless because you have more than one person to think about now. You are responsible for children. You are responsible, whether it be 1 to 5 to 10. You have responsibilities. And so those selfish ways go out the window. You have to think about your kids first. Once you do that, everything else comes really naturally easy. Seriously. A lot of times what parents do is they get into a me situation, and they forget that you gave that up when you have a kid. You still want your social life. You still want to do you, and you can try to squeeze that in, but honestly, your kids is your life now, once you decide to have them. And you can, I'm not saying you can't take time for yourself, but you can't really take it. If it comes, it comes. Your kids have to come first. And a lot of people don't understand that. They don't get it, but it's the truth. You have to have a reliable support team. And that means your family or friends. But the people you don't need are the ones that you want to include into your reliable support system, are the people who cause the conflict, the people who exacerbate the conflict that you may be having. You always want a level-headed, non-biased person in your corner to let you know when you're right and let you know when you're wrong, and be okay with that, and you'll respect them better. You can't have those people in your corner that's always throwing fuel in the fire, making it worse, making the situation worse. That's not a reliable support system. So it can be anyone in your family that has a level head that can make you. I always like to be around people, and I always try to be that person that always give both sides. I'm very, very unbiased with everything. I always look at both sides, because that's the only way I can make a conscious and level-headed decision with the things that I do. So I always do that. Hey, Shay. Okay, thank you guys again for coming out. Then another thing is, don't try to compete with your ex. When I say that is, you want to be the best parent that you can be, but there's always going to be one parent doing more than the other. It shouldn't be a competition, though. That's a plus. It's not a competition. It shouldn't always make you guys bump head. It's a blessing when you can't do and one can do, or you can do and the other can't do. It shouldn't never be. And when you guys can be on an even hill all the time, that's also great. But it shouldn't be a competition thing. What I found out a lot with co-parenting, what kills the vibe is one person is not over the other. Bitter breakups. You allow when you guys broke up, one was finished and the other wasn't, or neither one of you guys were finished, and you find yourself still playing around, pissing where you lay. And I mean by like having sex with each other still. That right there kills the whole co-parenting system, because at the end of the day, one of you guys are going to be dealing with emotions. 9 times out of 10, it's the woman. And you don't want to you don't want to muddy those waters. So if you say it's over, let it be over. I hear some women saying, yeah, I'm not with him, but when I want to have sex, I go back. That's the biggest mistake you can make for yourself. If that's not what you want, why do that? Why confuse things? Or you have some people who they're in different relationships, but they still hook up. You're muddying up your co-parenting situation. It could be so much better, because then you start being petty, you start getting into arguments, and then you become selfish once again. You're not thinking about the kids. You're thinking about yourselves and the things that you want. So, okay. I'm just looking at the comments to make sure I don't have any questions. If I don't get to your question while I'm talking, I will come back. So again, I don't want to get sidetracked while I'm talking. So please excuse me if I'm not engaging in the chat right now. But so what I was saying is muddying the waters with your ex. And again, you don't have to try to compete with your ex. You both are going to bring something different to the table, which is awesome, because two parents are always better than one. So it may be things that I don't know that my ex might, vice versa. And we come to minds together and make it work. That's the best thing you can do for your kids. Again, you're putting your kids first. That's how it's going to work. That's the only way it's going to work. Another thing is avoid speaking negatively about the other parent to the child. I have seen this countless times. I know I haven't been that way with my last three, but I can't tell you if I was like that with my son. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure he can tell you something different. But it's not right. It's two different things. Your ex may have been a horrible partner, has nothing to do with the type of parent they're going to be. That's two different things. So you don't have the right to even put children in it. Children should stay in the child's place. They have no rhyme or reason to be in adult situations. So the minute you find yourself talking around your kids to your girlfriends, trust me, they hear you. The minute you start telling your kids about your ex and the things that he did to you in the relationship, that's a problem. And it's not right. You shouldn't do that to the kids. It's not fair, and it muddies up the water for co-parenting. So I would really stand clear of that. It's not necessary, because, again, if you communicate with your ex, and you guys have a strong communication base, then it's nothing you guys can't discuss amongst each other. And it's nothing that needs to go through your kids. Like, you shouldn't be talking about your adult business to children, period. The next one is identify what is most important to you as a parent. Me as a parent, what's most important to me is making sure I raise decent children who will be able to function in society, in today's society, tomorrow's the future, whatever. That's what's important to me. I've always been told, if you don't raise your kids, the streets will. If you don't chastise your kids and teach them what's right or wrong, the streets will. The law will. And they're not going to love your children the way you love your children. So it starts at home. So the best thing important to me is my children's health and their education and their socialization. That's important to me. Them knowing right from wrong, them being educated enough to go get what they want, and them being able to take care of themselves, being able to leave the nest. That's important to me. So as a parent, that's what I work hard for every day to instill in my children. Support communication between your child and your ex or spouse. So when you say that, you really mean any conversation that your child is having with their parent, with their other parent. You support that, because you guys have already had that conversation to where you know that your spouse, your ex, is not going to do or say anything that's going to hurt your children. So you want to always support and be on the same page as them. Me and my children's father, whatever goes on between my children, I always let him know so we're on the same page. If I had to reprimand them for something, I let him know. Summer or Michael, whichever one of them did X, Y, and Z, this is what I did. And and most times he's like, okay, I'm completely with you on that. And he's going to carry it out. So when they do go with him, he's going to be on the same page with me and they're going to hear that talk again. That way they won't play us against each other, because kids can do that. My oldest son used to do that between me and his father all the time. He knew that we didn't get along, so he would play us against each other. Trust me, they are smarter than you think. Okay, so when you're on the same page with your ex spouse, that can't happen, because they're like, once they get to dad or mom, we're talking about the same thing. We're speaking the same lingo. So they got to be extra careful of how they're going to play these games or try to play these games with you. And I'm not saying that, when they're having their one-on-ones and they're talking about like things in life and things like that, I don't have to know all of that. I'm just saying, when it comes to what's best for our children, the parents should always be intertwined. I shouldn't be making decisions on my own for our children, and neither should he. And I think that is the best way to co-parent. You guys are always on the same page. I just said this. Consider the other parent when making decisions about your child. Absolutely. Anything that's going on with my kids, we speak on it together. We come to a resolution together. It might be, he might give me an idea. I might give him an idea. I might be thinking something that he's not thinking to do for what's best for our children. Or I might not agree. I'm not saying every situation and every conversation is going to be an agreeable one. However, you make sacrifices and you come to a mutual agreement, give or take. It's important. And we as adults, we should be smart enough and wise enough to do that. The same way we made the decision to make the baby, we need to use that same logic and decision making on raising them and doing what's best for the children. Oh, this one is a good one. Learn to identify. Wait, before I go there, let me just read the chat for a minute, because I see a lot going on here. Okay. Hey, Georgia girl. Thank you for joining. Hi, the hood table. Thank you. Yes. Thank you guys for joining in. I appreciate you. So let me get to, okay. Learn to identify what triggers negative reactions from your ex. We know what buttons to push. We know the things that we can say to each other that's going to get up under each other's skin. But when you're not together, why does that even matter? Why are you trying to get under each other's skin? If you guys' sole mission and purpose is to raise the children, you should be willing to respect each other, to not want to trigger each other. So if I know, I'll just give an example. If I know that when I take the kids and my spouse tell me, look, I need them to be home by a certain time because this is what we do here to prepare for the next day. I need to take that in consideration and not say, well, they my kids, so I'll bring them home when I want. That's going to cause problems, going to trigger the other person, and then y'all are at each other unnecessarily. It's little things like that. If you put one child under a punishment and you told the parent, look, this child did X, Y, Z in school. I'm not having it. I just think that this person's phone should be taken away for at least a week. And then they're going over to the next parent house and the next parent say, well, they with me, so they could be on their phone. That's triggering. And that's not working together. Things like that, little things like that. Come on, we can do better as adults and as parents. Because again, the child has two, not one. It's not about you and it's not about your ex. It's about the kids, okay? So we can think about that before reacting on things. It goes a long way. Just the thought process goes a long way. some. Do not provide your child detailed reasons for the breakup or the divorce. That's none of their business. It had nothing to do with them, unless in rare cases it did, but still, you don't do that. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. And that's another thing that we do as adults. We really look at, some of us look at our kids as our equal or as our friends. They're not our friends, they're our kids. Like, we have a responsibility to do, we got a duty to do. Why are we discussing details? Well, he cheated on me, she was a hoe. That's nothing for your child to hear about their parent. Because whether you like it or not, they love their mother. They love and adore their father. So why are you spilling these nasty comments and telling them reasons that they did in a relationship with you? I don't know what the purpose is. Is it to turn the kid against the parent? It don't usually work. It usually has the opposite effect. It makes them want that parent even more. So, respect your child's relationship with the other parent. Absolutely. Sometimes you like, oh, I don't want them to love me more than him. Be the mother and be the father, the best parent that you can be, and you won't ever have to worry about that. Respect the relationship that your children have with the other parent. When it comes to the other spouses in the parents' lives, I feel like that's a process that needs work. It's not something you just throw on the kids or the spouse. Both parties deserve respect and to be eased into a situation, to be groomed into a situation, because at the end of the day, this person is coming into your family. This person is lending themselves to you and your family. So they deserve a certain amount. A good level of respect. Also, your children deserve that respect because you are bringing someone else into their family, into their already makeshift family. They have a relationship with mom. They have a relationship with dad. But now you bring another adult into the situation. That takes a lot of grooming, a lot of conversation. And, both parties have to be okay. I never think it's right to just push somebody into that, kids or adults. I think that's something that deserves a conversation. I think that deserves time. Your spouse should get to know your children or your child as an individual. Your child needs to get to know your spouse as an individual. It can't just be, It can't just be, oh, this is mommy's partner or this is daddy's partner or whatever. No, I think your children deserve to create that relationship if they're going to have them. And also, if your child just not feeling comfortable with your other significant other, whether it be your next husband or wife or whatever it is, that deserves respect, and you have to honor that. And sometimes you might have to wait until you can get it together. And if it don't happen, I don't know, you have to make that choice on your own. But I think your children deserve that level of respect, to do it in a timely and a respectful manner. You don't rush that on neither one of the parties, okay? That's just something you don't do. Okay. So with that being said, that's the order for me. These are just the tips that I use myself. I'm not just speaking it. Honestly, me and my ex use these tips all the time. Do we come to understand it all the time? No, but I'll tell you what I don't do. So if I see it getting heated, I'll take a step back and I won't call him for a couple of days. I'll wait until I'm calm, or I think I'm at a level where we can talk. And I think he does the same. We give each other our space when it's getting nasty, before we get to arguing, because there's no need for us to argue about anything, because at the end of the day, we both love our children. I think I told this before, when we were breaking up, I was having a conversation gradually with my children of what was about to happen, because I didn't know how they was going to take it. I thought that I was going to ruin my family, but fortunately enough, by me communicating this with them and me telling them, I need y'all to stay in the child's place. Y'all have nothing to do with that. Our love for you will not change. If anything, it's going to get bigger. And once I instilled that into my children, they understood. And I didn't just say it, they seen it to be true. They witnessed it. So it made it a lot easier. And, when it comes to taking care of our children, anything, even with them, who they're going to live with, I have to make the hard decisions sometimes, because I have to think about my kids. It's not about what I want. Of course, I want to be the one they wake up to and go to bed every night. But if they can go to a better school system or live better than I can give them, of course, I'm going to put that first. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to be selfish like that. And I would expect him to do the same if it was on the other foot. And, when, again, these are hard decisions that me as a mother have to make, but it's something that I believe very much so. So, I make those hard decisions, and I pray to God that it worked. And for the most part, so far, so good. So this is why I'm offering these tips to being better co-parents. Again, the most important thing, guys, is putting your children first. Stop muddying the waters and going back to the ex. You cannot. You just can't. You're doing yourself and your children a great injustice by keep playing around with your ex, because that's where the problems come, a lot of the problems. Or you got the jealous ones that don't want to give it up and just, but again, the other party have to give them a reason to be that way. It's not that they just doing it because they want to do it. No, not going to make me believe that. I just won't. Hey, Melissa, that's okay. That's okay. I respect that too. Yeah, Miss T, it's truly, these tips will help. I promise you. The last thing you want to do, but if you have to, I'm not telling you not to do it, but if you have to, don't be afraid to take legal action. I say try everything before it gets to that point, because I'm telling you now, the worst thing you can do is get another person to dictate how you raise your children. And trust and believe, judges don't like to do it, okay? They don't like to do it. They're really angry that they got to tell two grown-ass adults how to take care of their children, how much money to give and all that stuff. And it's not worth it. And either way, the child misses out, because a lot of times when you have men that have to pay child support, they feel like that's the only thing they have to do. And they miss out. They be angry because they're giving money, because they start thinking you're doing X, Y, and Z with the money and not taking care of their kids. And then they want to do less. They want to spend less time. They want to talk about it and be angry about it. So if you can help it and not do it, I really think that you should. I don't think legal action is necessary until it's necessary. I'll just say that. So if anybody have any questions, if anybody wants to join in our conversation, let me know. I think I covered most of I think I covered everything. Let me just look at my notes, because I did this without my notes, guys. I'm proud of myself. Another tip about keeping, yes, I missed one. So with keeping the children's best interest at heart and not competing, and that also falls under the lines where you can't control your ex. You can't control how they're going to raise you guys' children. The only thing you can do is kind of be a part of the conversation. Lend yourself a helping hand. But if they do things one way in their household, you should respect that just as much as they respect the way you do in your household. Like my children, when they're with their father, they have chores. So they feel like they're cleaning all the time. But that's just what it is. When they're at dad's house, they have chores. When they're at my house, they have chores. Now, I'm not going to tell them, oh, you ain't got to clean up when you over there. That is wrong. I'm trying to control situations over there or tell them what they can eat, except for junk. We on the same page with that. But, things like that. You cannot control what your ex. So don't try it, What else? I think I covered everything with my notes. I'm proud of myself, guys. Yeah, okay. And so with the co-parent too, give yourself time to get the thing right. It does not happen overnight. Don't beat yourself up when you're making mistakes, when y'all are bumping heads. But the only thing you can do is aim to do better. So again, this thing it don't come with no handbook. You're gonna make mistakes, and everybody parent different. I don't like telling somebody they're a bad parent unless they have their children in inhabitable situations and abusive and things like that. But your way is your way and my way is my way. So I don't really get into telling anybody that how they raise their kids is wrong, because what works for them works for them. Who am I? Because what works for me just works for me, again, everything is not going to be smooth sailing. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm trying to preach like it's easy 1, 2, 3. It's not. But when you got two adults working hard at it, it's easier. I'll just say that. Let me see. Again, respect what you say about each other around the kids. I want to think that my kid's father is the best man in the world because he raising my damn kids. So I'm not trying to tear him down. I'm trying to build him up, period. Let me see. Okay, let me read some comments. Let me wait. I need to go up. I'm sorry. Okay, so Melissa said, oh my God, I am divorced, so I know the situation well. Right, correct. And you do it, it's not, let me say this. Nobody gets married to get divorced. It's just reality. It happens. All relationships are not meant to last. Sometimes we get into relationships that we don't have no business getting in the first place. So when it ends, it ends. That's not the point. The point is, when you guys create other human beings, you now two of you have a duty to raise them. Okay. Good tips on raising healthy co-parenting kids. All good tips. Thank you, Miss T. Great topic. Thank you, Queen Diva. Thank you. I co-parent with my ex that lives in another state, and that is challenging as well. Melissa, I cannot even imagine, seriously, even though my kids at one point was like almost 2 hours away, that was hard. So being in another state, that's rough, especially when they're in school. Like, how do you even maintain that? What do you do? I don't even want to think about it. I'm praying to God that never happens. I'm asking my ex to please, before considering moving to another state, please let our baby graduate out of high school. Once the baby is in high school, they're pretty much going to be scattered anyway in different colleges. So I won't be that anxious to see my babies. But if that happens, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to take it. I'm not going to even lie. I can't even say, well, it's all right. No, it's not going to be all right with me. So I commend you, Melissa, because that seems like it's rough. You appear more relaxed with this topic too. I think you have found the balance with reading the chat but standing on your subject. Thank you, Jay Dunn. Thank you. I'm very passionate about my kids and parenting, so you already know I'm in my lane right now. The thing that keeps our situation working is that I always put the child first, even when he's being an ass. You have to. That's the only way it's going to work. Trust me, I know that. You know, girl, it's times I break down in here to myself because I think about so much. But then I get my shit together after all of that, and I'm like, all right, what my kids need? What do they need the most? That's what I'm gunning after. That's what I'm about. That's my mission. What's going to make them happy? That's my mission. So it brings me back together. Every time I just think about my kids, literally, I get off petty. Like if I am on petty, I'm rarely on petty, but even if I am, the minute I start thinking about my kids and if this is going to affect my kids and how it's going to affect my kids, it literally sets me straight because that's the last thing I want to do. I love my children with all of my being. So their well-being means the world to me. That's it. God lent these children to me for a reason. He put a job in my lap, and I don't intend to let him down. I just don't. You know, I'm not perfect. Not saying that I'm perfect. I make mistakes. I don't got this thing all wrapped up and everything, but I know that I try to do my best. He see it, and my children know it, and I know it. So I'm good with that. You know. So, and really, that's really it to co-parenting. I mean, it's not it, but those are tips that you can definitely use that will definitely be helpful for you guys if you use it. Like, it's just about maturity. It really is. Let me see. I have a daughter and she thinks her dad is a superhero. Girls are so emotional about their father because, first of all, a father is a girl's first love, just like a mother is a male's first love, the boy's first love. We're their first love. They know how to love because of us. They learn what love is about through us. So yeah, that's important to me too. Like, I have to love and nurture my children because I need my son, number one, I need him to know how to treat a woman. I need him to know what a good woman represents. And I want him to be a good man. And my daughters, I want them to know the type of woman I want them to be the best woman that they can be, the best young ladies, the best teenagers. I want them to be great and to respect themselves. So everything I do, I always think of my children and if it's favorable to them, if they will be happy. And if I make them happy in their eyes, I don't do things around them that's like, I might curse and go off and and everything. But what I mean is my behavior out in the streets and things of that nature, my relationships, the people I surround myself with, I always consider my children because they are watching me. They're sponges. They're looking at everything that I do or don't do. And they're going to pick up things. They're going to leave some things behind. Same thing that I did with my parents. Same thing we all did with our parents and our parents did with their parents. They took some things and they left some things behind. So I want them to have a good blueprint, period. That's all. I want them to have a good blueprint as children. And again, I'm not trying to say like I'm perfect because I'm not perfect. But I do the best that I can do every day. And that's all that I can do. And that's that. When they see me make mistakes, I check myself. Like, yeah, I fucked up. Mommy fucked up. But guess what I learned? And guess what I'm going to try my best not to do again. I have these conversations with my kids. It's the best way to be. It works for me. But we'll see when they grow up if they really, really took it in. But yeah. Yes, he can do no wrong. Let me tell you something. That's how I feel about my king. My sons. My king, I'm telling you, I'm going to knock a girl out. I'm not playing. If they think they're about to run over my king, they got nothing coming. I'm telling you. Because that one over there, he is truly a gentleman. He is he warms my heart. So these little raggedy heifers is going to have a problem with me. I'm telling you, I'm going to be on their ass. I ain't going to even lie. Again, guys, please thumbs up the video. I thank you guys again for coming in. And if anybody had any more questions or comments, I'm here for at least an hour. I just got off of work. I'm tired. No, I ain't playing. I'm not playing. I'm gonna knock him. I'm gonna be on their arse, okay? And he know it too. Because I be telling him now, like, if they think it, and I believe that. You said it with conviction. I mean it. I ain't playing. I'm not playing. My kids are just happy to go to my ex-husband's house and get in the pool. I found out we get along a lot better now. He's an older man, thank God, and more responsible. Good. And you know what? Kids are happier when they see the parents getting along. I don't know if you noticed that. Even when I was younger and I used to go to my cousin's house, and my aunt and my uncle, they fought like cats and dogs all the time. I was always expecting them. When I get there, they fighting. One staying downstairs because he was a super of his building. He would live in his office because that's how bad they used to fight. But girl, when they got along, the days that we used to take them trips over to New York, because New York is a hop, skip, and a jump from North, and we used to just go there for papaya and hot dogs. But just them two getting along for the day, me and my cousins used to be so happy. Like that really made us the happiest when they got along. And that's, now that I think about that, like that was sad that we was kids and recognized them not getting along versus them getting along, and how it made everybody so much happier when they got along. So I just feel like when kids see parents doing the damn thing and getting along, whether y'all are together or not, it brings out a positiveness, a different type of energy in the kids. It really do. What did Jada say? She been saying that. I'm already scared of first girlfriends. Cause Jay, I'm serious. I mean it too. I ain't playing around. You are so right. My daughter cried at one point because she thought I hated her dad. So I had to suck it up for her sake. Melissa, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. Because our kids love us. They love us, whether we can't stand each other or not. And sometimes you be like, I don't know what the fuck you love him for. You know, that's our feelings. And we're judging them because of relationship that we had. And we forget that they're parents. And the same way we love our kids, they love their kids to our kids too. We both love our kids. And sometimes we don't give each other the benefit of the doubt because we're so focused on what they did to me, you know? So if you can kind of push that aside and think about the kids, you'll be better. You'll make better decisions. Seriously, you'll make better decisions. Even I know when I had my son, when I had my son and I was younger, I was all into materialistic name brand this and name brand that. And his father is a big cheap. He's so cheap. But so one time I sent my son to his house with some Nikes. My son come back home with some, what's they Transformer sneakers? I flipped out. But my son was so happy with them damn Transformer sneakers. He was sliding around. He loved them sneakers so much. And I had a fit because they wasn't the Nikes that I sent him over with. Now, me being older and more mature and wiser, I'm like, that made my son happy. Why couldn't I just be happy for him? Even though I didn't like them, they wasn't for me. I didn't have to wear them. But I was so busy being materialistic and like, I want nobody to see my son in these damn sneakers. I didn't look at it the way I should have. So it's just little things like that that makes the difference. Let me see. We had one big fight in the driveway, me and the new girlfriend and my ex. After that, everybody was cool, and that was 6 years ago. Her son is my child's best friend now. You have to get along. You absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Let me tell you, now my son's father got married twice, but both of his wives love me to this day. Like our kids, like their grandkids, or one wife's child and one grandchild, real close to my daughter. Like soon as they see each other, it's like we're family because I'm always around. So, and I'm not into their man. And I think that plays a part because once the spouse, the new person feels uncomfortable around you, because we know as women know, men, it take them a while to get to catch up, but women know, we know what the fuck, this ain't, y'all ain't just taking care of no kids. But once they knew and was comfortable, I made them comfortable around me because, for one, when I said it's over, it's over. I don't go backwards. I only go forward. And I want you to be comfortable, and I want to feel comfortable around you because at the end of the day, you're going to be around my children. So I have to be able to trust that. So I need to get to know you. I'm not trying to fight you. I'm not trying to bicker with you. And of course, you're going to make decisions in the household with their father. If he trusts you, I have to trust you unless I see something other. So that's important. That was always important to me. To this day, even my ex now, his significant other, we went out to eat and everything. Like, I cannot, because at the end of the day, my children were living with her. So she woke up to them every day. She, if necessary, had to do hair. Although I made sure that ain't happy because I don't play that shit. But if she had to do it, she had to do it. And I had to be able to trust her. She was cooking meals for them. She was laying the law down, the rules in the house and stuff like that. And I had to be comfortable with my kids being there. So it was important that I know exactly who she is and she knew who I was. And one thing I appreciate her, when we was talking at dinner, she asked me, she said, okay, do you have any certain ways you like to do X, Y, and Z in the morning for them so that I can kind of mimic? And I thought that was so respectful. I appreciated her for doing that. And that was nice to hear. And we was able to come off and give each other different tips and the things she do and the things I do and everything like that. And I respect her rules. She respect mine. And we're cool. We are cool. And that's how it has to be. That is a great another tool for co-parenting, especially when the other spouses have significant others. Get to know them. Don't try to fight them. And you have to explain to your kids, this is just a plus. Now, you don't get just 2 gifts. You get 4. You get one from me, my spouse, him, his spouse. How you going to be mad at that? Hey, TC, thanks for joining. You have to always give them a more positive way of looking at every situation, because you want to be happy and you want your kids to be happy. And if mama ain't right, the kids ain't going to be right. If daddy ain't right, the kids ain't going to be right, y'all. They just not. And there are rare cases where that is different, but for the most part, it rings true. There is facts. So whatever you have to do, and happy birthday again to Lisa, TC's significant other. I hope you guys are enjoying. So, guys, again, that's important. And that's all I wanted to do tonight, is just give you guys tips on effective and ineffective co-parenting. We have to raise these babies. We have to raise our kids to be happy. The biggest problem in America right now amongst Black people is mental health. And it's because our mental is fucked because of the mistakes that our grandparents made, because of the mistakes our parents made, because of the mistakes that we are making as parents. And it's just going on and on and on and on. And we don't go to the doctor. We don't think counseling is a good idea. We just self-medicate. And how we self-medicate is drugs, alcohol, being nasty to each other. And enough is enough. Let's get to the root of the problem. Why are you so angry? What is going on with you? You know, I'm going somewhere else. That's for another conversation, y'all. I don't even want to go there. But my whole point was bringing it back to co-parenting and just being successful at raising children. Again, guys, I thank y'all so much for coming in. I think I have spoke enough. I spoke a lot. And again, it's the order for me. There is an order. There is an order, okay? It's the parents and then the children. It's not the children and then the parents. No, the adults have to raise the children. So it can't even be the other way around. The kids don't raise the adults. Although there are some households where the kids are raising the adults. But for the most part, the adults raise the children and you do it together. Whether you are together or not, it should not really affect the way you parent your kids if you just keep your kids first. If you just don't deviate from the children being first. Okay, so thank you so much. No problem. She said, "Oh, thank you, girl. Thank you. That's water." And believe it or not, I don't do nothing to this face. I'm serious. I wash it with soap every day, and I drink a lot of water. That's all I drink is water, and that's it. So, guys, thanks again for coming and showing me love. I appreciate all of you, everybody that's watching, everybody that dropped down, everybody that is contributed to the conversation. I'm not going to say that I'm going to be back next week because I'm not, but I will try to do a live every other week because right now I'm preparing for my daughter's Sweet 16. It's going to be big and I'm super duper excited. I never had a Sweet 16 because I wasn't sweet, honey. But my daughter, oh, I'm so excited to do this for her. And my family have dropped down and it's helping me so much with everything. Everybody's just super duper excited for this. So, and it's costing me a lot of money. I ain't even lie. It's costing me a lot. I'm working my ass off to make sure it's beautiful because she deserved it. My daughter is doing excellent in school. She made honor roll. She ain't perfect. She get on my nerves because she do got a stink attitude sometimes. But for the most part, she's a good kid and she deserved a Sweet 16. So that is what I am giving my baby. I will be doing this by myself now. I don't need a co-host. I realize that. I will have guests up, but as far as me and my show, I'm doing this alone. It is what it is. I'm good. So with that being said, guys, I am just going to close out with, again, thank you for coming in. And everybody enjoy the rest of your night. And I will see you guys soon. Peace.